It is exactly 7 after 8 o'clock. You tuned into News and Views on Salam Media. We are talking with our first guest, and that is, of course, Sandile Swana. He's a political analyst and he's here to talk to us once again about the Johannesburg Mayoral Committee's musical chairs game, because that is exactly what it is, isn't it? We understand a stalemate between ActionSA and DA over the inclusion of the PA in their coalition to oust the mayor of Johannesburg, and that, of course, is Kabelo Kwamanda. This has led to the collapse of the motion of no confidence. And Action SA withdrew its motion of no confidence against Kwamanda after the DA refused to accept a deal to give the PA 2 seats in the mayoral committee to vote with their coalition. Very good morning to you, Sandile. Welcome to the program. And we're at it once again, the game of musical chairs in the Johannesburg mayoral chamber.
Good morning to you, Julie, and your listeners. Yes, there are reckless attempts by ActionSA and the DA to actually take power in the city of Johannesburg without voter support, which they actually lack. They do not have the voter support to change the governance and the people in power in the city.
In terms of the appointment of the mayor, you talk about the people's votes. How should that have typically played out? Because up to now, it was a decision taken within the mayoral chambers.
The issue of the mayor specifically, which is the topic for now, has played out correctly. There's nothing wrong with the election of Kabelo Kwamanda, because once you have constituted council after an election, the councillors who are in office, from their own number, they must elect one councillor to be the mayor. Now, when that election took place very recently, I think it's 2 or 3 months back, they actually, Kwamanda got 139 votes, Mpopaladze got 68, and Funzi Ngobeni got 59. Now, when you look at the numbers, the DA, which is Mpopaladze, got less than half of what Kwamanda got. ActionSA also got less than half of what Kwamanda got. And if you add them together, they still got less than what Kwamanda got. So the whole thing is to undermine the will of council and the ability of the elected representatives to elect a mayor, put the mayor in office, and continue with the business of council. This is an unnecessary step taken by ActionSA, and there's a more dreamy and more fantastical step proposed by the DA, that they are going to dissolve council and have an election where they are going to have a sweeping victory and take power in the city of Johannesburg. That is also not going to happen. These are all fantasies and delusions of grandeur.
Do you think that that is a deliberate attempt by the DA because they want to take the power, they want to be in control of running the city of Johannesburg? Question number one. Question number two, the mayor, the current mayor, hasn't been very visible currently, up until now. I remember when we had the issue around the problem, the gas explosion, or the alleged gas explosion in the Bree Street precinct. He was nowhere. He was not visible at all. And there were lots of questions asked about his capability of running running as a mayor. He hasn't really been high profile at all. He hasn't seemed to have made his mark. So how do we proceed, and how do all of these politicking games impact on his performance going forward? Imagine having something like this hanging over your head all the time. Can you truly be effective? Can you deliver the goods? Kind of second guessing yourself. People don't have confidence in me. It's just a matter of time before I'll be chopped.
Uh, let's start off with the gas explosion or whatever it was. The people who went there, which is Panyaza Lesufi, which is the premier, the politicians that went there, they said the situation is under control. They are there. They brought the situation under control. And in a matter of hours, it became quite clear that they didn't have a clue what was going on. They didn't know what the hell on earth is going on over there. And it has taken a very long time for them to really discover what was going on. So a lot of the times when we see politicians at the scene of an incident, with no information, no knowledge, no technical expertise, just going there as a publicity stunt, that does not add value to the public. So the people that needed to be there would have been the disaster management center of Johannesburg, of the metro, the engineering department of the city of Johannesburg, and the official spokesperson of the city of Johannesburg to actually give us correct technical details of what is going on. There was a complaint afterwards by the MMCs of Johannesburg that the provincial government came there and bullied them and pushed them out of the way. So I don't know why we would have wanted Commander to be there to do what? What does he know about that case? If the Premier himself doesn't know, even if Ramaphosa went there, he still would not know what is going on. It's not their specialty. It's not their job. They should not be there. Because they stand there and they don't know what is happening. The next thing, another explosion happens and kills them because they don't know what they are doing. At an earlier time, during the IDP process, this allegation was raised, the allegation that is being made in this show, that Kwamanda is not visible. And Kwamanda was giving reports about different regions that he had visited to collect information about what people need to be put in the IDP. And that is the job of the mayor. The mayor does not have to do every arbitrary job that any journalist or any opposition party member thinks he must do. The job of the mayor is stipulated in the law. So if you say Kwamanda is not doing his job, which job is not doing? If he's doing the job that is stipulated in the act and completing it successfully, which job do you want him to do? So I think that even this motion of no confidence did not list the 10 jobs and say these are the 10 jobs that Commander is supposed to have been doing. And on this job, he did not do it. On this job, he did not do it. There's nothing like that. They just say the guy must be removed. And there is actually nothing to do with the performance of the municipality and the performance of mayoral duties by Kwamanda. Nobody has produced a concrete report that shows that Kwamanda is not doing. Why must it be visible?
Clearly, something's wrong, Sandile, that these games are being played out in the Johannesburg City Council. There's a lot of politics at play here, and it also indicates that there seems to be possibly a power grabbing, power sharing situation that's going down. Shouldn't this be somehow the other be stopped for once and for all, so that the business of running the city starts happening? And just to digress as well, just this morning, Mpho Phalatse has made the announcement that she has tendered her resignation and she's returning to the medical field. I kind of wonder what has prompted that as well, because at one stage she was quite a prominent political figure, and I think a lot of people had lots of high expectations of her to be able to deliver and take the city in the direction we were hoping that she'd take it to. So this is all political games, and this is all about power and control. And it does cast aspersions on the management and the efficiency of people in top jobs, does it not?
On the matter of Mpho Phalatse, I think she has taken a wise move to remove herself from the DA and to remove herself from politics, especially if those politics will be conducted under the DA. When the elections of 2021 came about, there was a general feeling that the ANC should be kept out of power, and the EFF took the steps and ushered the DA into power. In the process of time, Mashaba went to the DA and said, if we want to stabilize our coalition for the next 5 years, we need to include the EFF in and give them some responsibilities and share power with them. After all, they've got the votes to stabilize this coalition. The DA refused. Mpho Phalatse made detailed presentations to the higher structures of the DA, the Federal Council, and so on, that they must admit the EFF into the ruling coalition and be stable for the next 5 years. The DA Federal Council refused that. The direct result of that was that the EFF shifted its loyalties, if you like, towards the ANC and formed a new coalition, also including the PA, which had been insulted heavily by the DA, and that is still in conflict with the DA as we speak today. And that coalition is stable. It has got overwhelming power, as demonstrated in the previous election. So the DA can fantasize anything that it wants to fantasize. It will not displace the coalition that is in power in Johannesburg. It has no capacity for that. So anything that they try to do is just a gimmick and a waste of time.
Okay, we're going for an ad break, but when we come back, I guess the all-important question, Sandile, is what is this saying about coalitions going forward? And if these are the type of disruptions we as civil society are seeing playing out at local government level, how's that going to influence our ballots come the 2024 elections? And that is cause for concern. But I will come back to you after the ad break for that response. It is exactly 8:20 a.m. News and views on Salam Media.
Is among the deadliest earthquakes of the last century. Thousands have lost their lives, and large areas and cities and towns in southern Turkey and northern Syria have turned to rubble, leaving huge numbers of residents with very little or nothing at all. Al Imdad Foundation's emergency relief team is on the ground providing life-saving aid. The people of Turkey and Syria desperately need your support. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Guests here. People are dropping us.
Yo.
So we're busy trying
Sponsor an orphan, and you'll help support a vulnerable child to have the education they've always dreamed of, so they can build a brighter future. You'll be feeding a hungry stomach and a hungry mind with knowledge that will last them a lifetime. That's the power of an education. Sponsor an orphan now with Islamic Relief.
There's no smell that takes me back to the comfort of my childhood than the smell of black seed oil being applied by my nanny. Now I'm using Tib black seed in my own home to soothe sniffles and coughs, to help with digestion and immunity, and of course, as part of my beauty routine. After all these years, I've come to appreciate the wisdom in finding comfort and shifa in trusted treatments like Tib black seed. You can find Tib black seed at all leading pharmacies or find out more at blackseed.co.za.
Conveniently located along the banks of the Crocodile River bordering the Kruger National Park, as a guest at Buckler's Africa Lodge, one can enjoy an amazing sunrise or sunset on our spacious deck area while you catch a glimpse of some wildlife sightings along the Crocodile River. The sounds of the African savannah will greet you whilst you enjoy your morning coffee. Buckler's Africa Lodge by Tingana Collection. Buckler's Africa Lodge is ideally situated only 6 kilometers from the Crocodile Bridge Gate in the Kruger National Park. Catering for all travelers with variety, we have 4 types of the finest rooms: superior rooms, deluxe suites, and 2-bedroomed family units. Each room is equipped with the finest amenities to make your stay unforgettable. Guests can choose between the self-catering option or book their accommodation with breakfast and dinner included. Buckler's Africa Lodge is your ideal location for the ultimate Kruger getaway experience. We specialize in exhilarating and educational game drives in Kruger, tailor-made to suit your family. Inquire about our various accommodation offerings and other activities. Visit www.tingana.co.za for more information. Buckler's Africa Lodge by Tingana Collection. Experience the pulse of Africa with us.
Ah, the kitchen, the heart of the home, where memories are made and celebrated. Our go-to place for those freshly stacked pancakes early in the morning or for that late-night snack munchies. We are in there together, cooking, eating and celebrating life together. Let's keep the kitchen a place that is shared by everyone, where we build stronger bonds and grow together. Sunfoil, now we cooking. Visit nowwecooking.co.za for recipes that everyone can help make.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
It is exactly 8:24. News and views on Salam Media. Our first guest of the morning is Sandile Swana. He is a political analyst, and we're talking about the musical chairs in the Johannesburg Mayoral Council. Welcome back. Would you like to respond to the question I left you with pre the ad break regarding coalitions and the 2024 elections? How will this unstable picture that we're getting of coalitions impact on the elections?
Thank you so much, Julie. First of all, the people of Johannesburg, the residents of Johannesburg and the voters, do not have to be panicked about unstable municipalities, municipal councils, because it is not the fault of the residents and the voters that what is happening is happening. This thing has got a clear origin. The origin of this problem is clear and the solution is also clear. The origin of the instability of the councils is in the DA, the Democratic Alliance political party. In 2016, when the ANC started to lose the metros, Herman Mashaba was elected as the mayor, the DA mayor of the city of Johannesburg. And that coalition was stable. Mashaba operated very successfully for 3 years. And if we accept the report that Mashaba gave, Mashaba said he worked very well with the EFF, and not on a single occasion did the EFF come to ask him for any tender or any bribe or any corruption. But 3 councillors of the DA did come to him to ask him for corruption and tenders and things like that. This is on public record. What I'm telling you, you can Google it, you'll find it. It's a matter of public record. And it was a statement made directly by Masha. And because he was not acceding to the wishes of these fellows, let's call them that, the DA went to the ANC behind the scenes, made a deal with the ANC to remove Mashaba. And the allegations that were made public was that Mashaba is an EFF mayor. And he was removed. After he was removed, that single move made sure that we never had a stable mayor in Johannesburg until the 2021 election. There was not a stable mayor in Johannesburg. 2021 election came, and an opportunity to create a 5-year stable coalition was there, and Mashaba and Mpopaladze proposed it to the DA, and the DA rejected that stability. That stability is now enjoyed by the ANC and Gabriel Kwamanda, and they are going to finish their 5-year term. The DA is going to fail in what they are doing. And the DA in Johannesburg specifically is the principal source of stability. And there is a solution to that, and that solution is in place, and there's no need to panic. They can jump around and make whatever noises they want to make. They are not going to succeed because the election is concluded. They do not have the numbers in council. The numbers in council are with Kwamanda. They are with the EFF. They are with the PA and the ANC. And that concludes that story. So people must not see the misbehavior of the DA in South Africa and in Johannesburg specifically and go around saying that coalitions are unstable when there is a specific person who is running up and down, destabilizing coalition, openly so.
When we look at the stability or the fact that the DA are doing pretty well in the Western Cape, the picture that is given to the public is that should the DA be in power, should they then take control of the Johannesburg Metro, we will have a lot of the city's issues addressed possibly overnight. Your thoughts on that matter?
If you look at the statistics of the last municipal election, which was in 2021, the DA declined in that election in the Western Cape and declined nationally. So the DA's total votes in the Western Cape and in South Africa has actually gone down, which means that the popular support that the DA may have had has actually gone down. Number two, in the Western Cape, there are certain communities that have not received services, that have then decided to choose local leaders in some of the smaller towns around the Western Cape and so on and so forth, and even in wards, and which is why the DA has been losing support, because certain communities are not getting services. On top of that, the DA has made many extravagant claims. The unemployment rate in South Africa, not in South Africa, in the Western Cape is 20%. And normal unemployment rate is around 3% in a healthy country. So the DA appears to be successful because it is competing with duds, with failures. So the story of the DA is like a student who comes to you and says, you know what, I'm the top student at this school. I got 30%, all the other students got 10%, but the pass mark is 50%. So the DA is a distinguished, successful failure among the general failures of South Africa. What the DA has done, the DA has been unable to grow the economy of the Western Cape. All they've done is to keep the cities clean and keep them as they are. We have not made progress in the Western Cape. South Africa, all of South Africa is stagnant. The two largest parties in South Africa, since the departure of Thabo Mbeki, have not known how to grow South Africa. South Africa has not grown since Thabo Mbeki left office. So both of the two top parties don't know how to grow South Africa. And the DA, all they can talk about, and I celebrate, I was in Paarl the other time, I enjoyed it. I've been in Stellenbosch, I enjoyed it because it is clean. But the town must actually develop, the town must actually grow, a town must meet the 6% growth rate that is stipulated by the African Union. It must meet the average 5.4 GDP growth rate per annum, which the DA is far from that, very far. So we must not be choosing between mediocrities and praising other failures on top of other failures. That is a waste of time.
My final question then to you, the elections are around the corner. I say this all the time when I speak with analysts like yourself. You as an analyst and all of the other analysts that I speak with on the show have very strong beliefs regarding how South Africa can be pulled out of the quagmire that we find ourselves in now. Have you people made attempts as analysts to meet with government, to make suggestions how the country can be taken forward rather than backward, how to create growth, how to create employment, what are the steps that need to be put in place to prevent South Africa to further decay and to further come to a standstill. Will government listen to you guys? Because you guys seem to have the answers. You, as analysts, I should imagine, together with large business corporates, corporations, CEOs, etc. If you get these minds together around the table, can we come up with workable solutions? And will the government listen to your suggestions and try and put them in place to save South Africa from absolute decline?
The solutions to the problems that we experience here in South Africa are unknown. Literally, you can take them off the shelf. Whether the solution is about housing problems, you can go to Wits University, the School of Engineering there, in the School of Construction. They will tell you what you need to do to build houses for the poor and how to eliminate squatter camps. And they've been busy with that matter for about 45 years, since the early 80s, and the solutions are on the shelf. The problems of electricity in South Africa, whether you go to UCT, whether you go to Wits or you go to the University of Pretoria, the solutions are off the shelf. The CSIR, the solutions are off the shelf, and many others. The problem that you have in South Africa, of why the ANC, Ramaphosa has said this, by the way, publicly, that the solutions, for instance, to the electricity crisis are known. They know them. The people capable of solving the electricity problem in South Africa are also currently present in South Africa and available. But the ruling party, which is the ANC, because it is run by criminal syndicates, it has no time to listen to realistic solutions. I was looking at this morning to a short write-up by Duma Gubule, an economist, who has been talking to COSATU, who's inside in the ANC circles. They have not listened to him. Duma Gubule is almost 60 years old now. He might be pensioning not so long from now. His life as an economist will have been wasted, because all the advice he's been given over the years has been ignored. Lumkile Mond and many others, totally 100% ignored.
Sad state of affairs is all I can say. Let's hope and pray common sense does prevail, and post the 2024 elections that some miracle happens in South Africa to save us from the brink of disaster. Sandile Swana, always a pleasure talking with you. Love your insights into all of these issues. You go well. God bless.
God bless. Thank you.
It is exactly 8:35 news and views on Salam Media. Next, we are going to be talking about the deal between China and South Africa. This, of course, was brokered at the BRICS summit. Let's understand how South Africa is going to gain from the 667 million rand by China, pledged by China to address the power crisis.